Hello everybody, this is Zaxter99. Definitely have a strange story coming out of Belleville, Illinois just last week. We have a report of a 68-year-old elderly man that actually used a motorized scooter to get around, had a portable oxygen tank with him, and he would actually hide sewing needles in his oxygen tank holder. And what he'd do is he'd go to the meat section of this store, his local Shop and Save there in Belleville, Illinois, and he would actually tamper with the meat and place sewing needles inside the meat. After he got caught, he was saying, it was stupid. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He told the police. But he also said that he knew hiding needles in the meat was a stupid idea, and the reason he did it was just for the hell of it. Now, at least one customer had reported being stuck in the mouth, and another one got it right in his hand from buying packaged meat from the store. At least 6 customers and an employee that worked there found needles over the last 14 months. Now, it all started back in May of 2013 when the first customer found a needle in a package of ground beef. A few months later, in September 2013, same store, an employee found a needle sticking out of a package of pork chops. And then, just a month later, in October 2013, another customer found a needle in a package of ground beef. January 2014, we had a lady that actually cooked a boneless chuck roast, went to take a bite, and found the needle in her mouth. A couple of months later, another person actually found a needle in a roast purchased at the store. And in June 2014, a person was stuck in the hand when opening a steak that they purchased at the store. And then another person reported finding a needle in pork steaks purchased at the store just here in July. So what they did is the store, after all these reports, they finally started using their surveillance cameras to find out what the heck was going on. And they actually identified an elderly gentleman in this motorized scooter. He was carrying the oxygen tank, and he would manipulate that packaged meat on several different occasions when they went back and looked at the video. He wouldn't buy any meat, and they identified this gentleman as Ronald Avers, 68 years old. I guess he lived in Belleville as well. What happened on July 29, 2014, they had their surveillance cameras going. They were kind of watching out for him, and when he entered the store, they actually called the cops. The cops came, searched his car, and found an open package of sewing needles. So he might have been at it again, going to the store just to place those needles inside some more meat. I gotta say that I'm happy for all the residents of Belleville, Illinois that shop at this Shop and Save. I'm very happy that they actually did catch this guy before he might have really hurt somebody. Thankfully, nobody was really hurt, it looks like. In the store did let all the customers know that anybody that shopped at that store, anybody that's purchased any meat as of July 12th of 2014, they can bring their meat back and get a refund or get a trade-in. Because they don't want anybody taking any chances. Now, what happened, I could really search the internet. I really tried to find out what happened when he went to court on August the 4th. The only thing I found out was that U.S. Magistrate Judge Stephen Williams, who, after the hearing, he sided with federal prosecutors in denying Ronald Avers' request to be eligible for release on bond. So no chance of getting released, and he does face up to 70 years in prison and a 1.75 million total fines charge. So that is the maximum penalty, and I hope that he's in prison long enough to where he's not getting out trying to tamper with people's food again. Now, we've heard a lot of stories about people tampering with food in stores before. A lot of times when you open a lot of different foods, whether it be juice or a lot of different containers in the stores now, you have all that extra protection. You got to take off that plastic thing. Definitely worth it to protect us. But meat is not packaged exceptionally well. Certainly easy for somebody to come by and tamper with that meat and stick something in there, whether it be a needle or whether it be anything else. I mean, poison or anything else could be easily, certainly, tampered into meat. Kind of a scary thought. But I just wanted to go ahead and report this story that I actually found on the internet, kind of let you guys know about it. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but definitely an odd story and kind of a scary story that makes you think next time you go buy meat for sure. Now, my question to you guys is, what would you guys do if you were, you know, lived there in Belleville and you had bought a package of meat here, or maybe you buy a package of meat wherever you're at? And what would you do if your kid or somebody you love or yourself actually went in to bite a hamburger and, got a needle right in your gums or your mouth or your tongue? I think that'd be pretty upsetting. But I'd like to hear from you guys what you guys think about the story. Maybe you've heard what actually happened, if he's actually been sentenced or what. I'm thinking that he hasn't been sentenced yet because I think I would have seen it or found it at this point. At least the time that I made this video, I don't think he had been sentenced. But I'd like to find out what happens with that. So if any of you guys out there know or find out what happens with that sentencing, please post it down below. Also, be sure you guys subscribe. Click that button in the top right. Be sure you subscribe so you get any future videos from me. And be sure you hit that like button as well and leave those comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think of this. This has been Zaxter99 with this oddball story right here. Kind of scary. All right, have a good night. Have a good day wherever you guys are. Take care.